we hear a do knocking on the door. We go to the door and it's them sweating, smiling, cause they like just happy that they walked home. We were like, what the hell?
Shorty, come talk to me. 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 Hello, how you doing? Nice to meet you. How you doing? I was thinking brunch, maybe pizza. I'm just tryna kick it like FIFA. Elevate your mental on another level. Fly you to the end of the earth. Your ex-guy never knew where you were.
What it do? It's your girl Ed.
It's your boy Drew.
We're back with another
banging that story time. Y'all know how we do when we come down ripping that H-Time. Know what I'm talking about?
Straight up.
Real talk.
I almost said reaction, but it's not a reaction.
I know, you feel me? I wasn't gonna say nothing though.
It's a story time, and this story, oh my God, we were so heated, scared, upset, like it confused. It was a whole lot of stuff going on. But we're gonna tell y'all about the time that our kids' school let them walk home by themselves when they are not even walkers
at all.
They were not walkers, and they just... Anyway, before we get into it, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe.
It's very important.
Tap that notification bell, send everybody our way.
Tell them we the next up because we the best up.
And that's on END.
And them big facts.
Alright, so I'm gonna start it out. So around this time, we had just lost our car in a flood. I was on, I forgot what storm it was, Imelda. Storm, thunderstorm, tropical storm, whatever storm it was, Imelda. I lost my car. I was on the freeway on I-10, no, 45, almost to I-10, and then all of a sudden water just started rushing in. So our car had water damage. I, lost the car. So fortunately, the school wasn't super far away, and we weren't making a whole lot of money at the time, so it's not like we could just get another car right then and there. And then this was like towards the end of the year, like right around this time actually.
Bad.
I think so.
It was.
Yeah, so and we didn't go too long without a car. We only went what, like 2 weeks maybe?
Yeah, like 2 weeks without a car. Yeah.
So we lost the car. So in our neighborhood where we were living at, the kids could not ride the bus. There was no bus to take them because we were within a 2-mile radius, which is so stupid. Because even though that was true, it was still kind of far. It was,
especially like to walk. It took like 30 minutes to get to that school, like walking.
Just walking, yeah. So you literally had to go like from apartments through a neighborhood. You gotta pass up medical, hospital, daycares, and all that just to get to their school. It was pretty far. So we were walking them to school. Well, you were walking them to school.
Yeah.
He would walk them to school. I'm not a morning person, y'all, so usually in the mornings he get them up.
Yeah.
I don't. It's just my brain don't function right in the morning.
She be grumpy.
Yeah, I do. And then I really be like, I'll get up and then I'll look and see what they doing and then make sure everybody's straight, and I'll go get back in the bed until it's time to go. Like, that's just how I do. But he'll get up, he'll stay in here and watch them and, wait and then take them. So he had been walking them to school, and then he would walk to the school to pick them up from the car rider line. Car rider line, not walker line, car rider line. So Ashad, and this is really partially his fault. It was just the 3 boys in school. Tootie was not in school yet. Ashad decided he was going to tell his teachers when it was time for dismissal, oh, I'm a walker. We walk.
He just assumed that they were walkers because now we're walking them to school instead of picking them up. You feel me? But at the end of the day, y'all do not walk. They wasn't ready to be walking from the school to the house. No, like not in that.
Not in that neighborhood.
It's bad. It was bad up over there.
That was the hood.
Like, that was a hood. Like,
that was the hood, and it was not a place for them to be. There was all type of bad stuff going on. That's why we don't live there. That's why we live here. right now because it was a terrible neighborhood. I mean, people was getting killed. They was finding dead bodies in our apartments. I actually witnessed a shootout in the apartments.
It was just crazy, y'all. Like, real talk.
It was crazy. So, because he told his teacher that he was a walker, nobody called to confirm anything with me. I never called and told them, the school, that, hey, my kids are gonna walk now. I never did that. I never did that. So, because he's the big brother, all the other teachers was like, okay, well, let him go. So, all of a sudden, you know, they were supposed to be in after school program.
Yeah.
So we hadn't left, or he hadn't left yet to go and walk to pick them up. He had not left the house. They weren't even supposed to be picked up until like 5.
Yeah, like they walked like soon as school let out. Cause because the after school program lasts until like what, 6 o'clock?
It was like 5 or 6 o'clock. They would eat dinner there and everything. So all of a sudden we hear a doot knocking on the door. We go to the door and it's them sweating, smiling, because they like just happy that they walked home. We were like, what the hell? And see, I was working from home, so I was actually on a phone call. Yeah. So I think he had came up and was like, babe, you know they walked home? I was like, oh hell.
She was pissed off. Me, I'm childish because I was laughing like, because I'm like, nigga, what y'all got going on? Y'all know y'all don't walk home.
He thought it was funny because he know that he dingy just like his son. Him and Ashar are dingy as hell. No. And I love them to death, but they are dingy. They do a lot of dingy shit and like stuff that don't make sense. They gonna do it all the time. And I learned to live with it and just love them through it and get on them and fuss at them and then just hope and pray for the best, because that's all you can do.
It is what it is.
They was born with it.
God made me like that.
Period. But so I was fussing, I was upset, and I was like, I can't believe that y'all did that. You know, we never told y'all that y'all were walkers. We never did that. So Ashad was in trouble for that because it started from him saying it. Because we never told you that you could walk home. Yeah. We wasn't even letting our kids go outside to play.
Oh yeah, they couldn't go outside to play. That's how bad it was. Like,
they couldn't even go outside to play. They literally would play on in our little patio part, and they almost got in a fight with some other kids.
Because they want to throw stuff over our patio and all that, like, and just talk noise. Like those, like, for real. I'm not saying that our kids just like, you know, all the kids like they do like bad things and stuff. But those kids up over there, they ain't have no respect for nobody and none of that. Like it was just sad. So I didn't want my kids hanging around people like that. You feel me?
Right. And they would be out all times of the day. They were real disrespectful.
I always act like every time me mostly they would see me and they were like, hey sir, can we have $1? Like I would ask for money. Like your parents supposed to teach you not to talk to strangers. I am a stranger to you. You don't know me and I don't know you, so you up here asking me for money, bro.
Right. It was not the neighborhood, especially knowing that it was drug dealers and all types of stuff in that neighborhood. Like, it was not a good place to be. There's people like drunk, like.
Remember the middle, those apartments, that whole little section burned down?
Yeah. I mean, it was a bunch of BS in those apartments in that neighborhood, period. So I called the teacher, I called the school the next day, and I went off on them. I'm like, my kids were allowed to walk home, and they were so apologetic. They had a meeting. I think the teachers got in trouble, and then nobody actually reached out to me and apologized. So one day I had a meeting with Zyric's teacher, and Zyric's teacher was like, I'm sorry, it's just when they said that it was time to go and they were walkers, I just had to let them go because I couldn't stop them and blah blah. And I'm like, no, you could have. Your job as an adult you were supposed to call. There is a protocol. If I do not call before 2 o'clock to change their status, how they get home, you do not change how they get home. They are supposed to be in the after school program. So that is where you should have made sure they got. But they didn't. So more to the story, I let it go. I really couldn't be too mad at the shot because the adults failed them.
I was laughing, y'all. I thought it was funny. She was pissed
It
off.
wasn't funny though.
It wasn't funny.
She was laughing because of how excited they was that they made it.
That's
home.
why I was laughing.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
But that like I said, it's not a good neighborhood. We literally have seen somebody get hit by a bus and the dead body was laying out in the street on Halloween. That same year on Halloween. Yes, I can say that. A dead body.
Oh, okay.
A dead body got hit by a bus and was laying in the middle of the street. And my kids saw it. And this is, you have to go that way to come home.
Yeah.
So what if the bus didn't see my kids walking? And they could have got hit. So I was upset, but more to the story, they don't go to that school no more. That was the ghettoest school ever. I hated all the teachers. I hated just the whole experience. Like,
yeah,
I'm glad we live where we live at now.
We in the suburbs up over here. I'm talking about they treat us like roads.
And that neighborhood over there used to not be the hood because I lived there when I was little.
Yeah.
And it was not hood. There was a lot of white people that lived there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But now it's ghetto.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the story time, y'all. If y'all parents don't tell y'all that y'all can do something, please don't do it. Because the minute you do something bad and something bad happen to you, you're going to feel bad and you may not get to say sorry for it.
Like real talk, you might see something you don't want to see that you can't unsee. Like, so it's cool to listen to your parents, like for real, like, and hang around the correct people.
Right. All right. But thank you guys so much for listening to our story time. If you have something similar that happened to you, comment down below. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe.
It's very important.
Tap that notification bell. Send everybody our way.
Tell them we the next up because we the best up.
And that's on any game.
Big facts.
Alright, so until next time,
peace.
Love don't cost a thing. You just what I need. Can I be the air you breathe? You everything and in between. Let's take a ride through the night. Pop champagne if you like. Find this thing that I seen in sight. And I ain't going out without a fight, no.